We've all been in situations where we've exchanged insults with someone, right? Whether it's in fun or in anger, sometimes we use words like weapons, like when we gossip, start rumors, criticize, mock, tease, or insult. We've all been hurt by others' words, and we've all used our words like weapons. So today we're going to talk about our words. It's probably not difficult for you to remember some of the hurtful things that have been said to you. Whether it was a family member, friend, bully, or person on the internet, hurtful words stay with us because words have a lot of power. So what do we do when someone's words hurt us deeply? And what do we do when we really want to use our words like weapons? Like we mentioned last week, there were a lot of people who thought Jesus was too radical. In the 90s, rad meant cool, but its real meaning has to do with being different, revolutionary, and countercultural. What Jesus said about loving God and others was radical, and what he teaches us about our words is pretty radical too. Throughout this series, we're looking to the Bible for practical advice on how to change the world with God's radical love, and that search has led us to the book of James. Now, this book is a letter written by a guy named James, Jesus' brother. James is known for its straightforward instructions for how to follow Jesus. These teachings might seem simple, but they have the power to create radical change. So let's see what radical things James 3 has to say about our words. For we all stumble in many ways. If anyone does not stumble in what he says, he is mature, able also to control the whole body. Now, if we put bits into the mouths of horses so that they obey us, we direct their whole bodies. And consider ships. Though very large and driven by fierce winds, they are guided by a very small rudder wherever the will of the pilot directs. So too, though the tongue is a small part of the body, it boasts great things. Consider how a small fire sets ablaze a large forest, and the tongue is a fire. The tongue, a world of unrighteousness, is placed among our members. It stains the whole body, sets the course of life on fire, and is itself set on fire by hell. Every kind of animal, bird, reptile, and fish is tamed and has been tamed by humankind, but no one can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil full of deadly poison. With the tongue, we bless our Lord and Father, and with it, we curse people who are made in God's likeness. Blessing and cursing comes out of the same mouth. My brothers and sisters, these things should not be this way. Does a spring pour out sweet and bitter water from the same opening? Can a fig tree produce olives, my brothers and sisters, or a grapevine produce figs? Neither can a saltwater spring yield fresh water. So James uses a lot of word pictures to help us understand the power of our words. And here's 3 things that James talks about in relation to our words. First off, the bit. Now, this small piece of metal lets humans guide huge animals with very little effort. In the hands of any riders, the bit is a helpful tool that keeps the human and horse on the right track. And then you have the rudder. James writes about the rudder of a boat, but maybe you're more familiar with airplanes. Can you spot the rudder on an airplane? It's that tiny flap on the very back of the tail. It's amazing that such an enormous machine is steered by such a small thing. And then he also talks about the spark. We use small controlled sparks to light candles, campfires, fireplaces, stoves, but an uncontrolled spark, like our uncontrolled words, can cause a significant amount of damage. The words we say might seem small, but they have the potential to make a significant impact. And when the words we say are harmful, the harm they cause can be significant too. You can see James is lamenting in this passage about how difficult it is for us to control our tongues. We say hurtful things one minute and then turn around to pray or sing a worship song the next. He's frustrated and he's fed up, probably with himself as well as with others. James knew that this was true. The words we say matter because they're a reflection of who we really are. So we need to watch what we say and watch what's in our hearts. Can you imagine how your family, friends, school, or the world could be different if we decided to not use our words like weapons? If we could find a new way to use our words, the change would be radical. So do you want to see that radical change? Are you not sure what you think about Jesus yet, but you know you want to see more good and less hate in the world? Then James tells us how to love like Jesus. Radical people watch their words. Since James used a lot of object lessons to talk about words, I'm going to give you a few as well. See, words can be like tattoos. Once you get one, it doesn't go away. It might fade over time, and you might have to try to have it removed or covered up with another tattoo, but the message of the original will be etched into your skin for life. And like a tattoo, you can't take back the words you say. Yes, you can apologize for hurtful things you said, but the wounds left by your words won't simply disappear. But your words of love, hope, and encouragement won't have to disappear either. They leave a mark that lasts. That's why it's so important to watch our words carefully as if we're using binoculars. When we speak, we need to look at our words up close. You need to wonder about your words. Whether you're speaking in person or online, pay attention to the words you say. Are they helpful, hurtful, true, kind? And then also spend extra time thinking before you speak. Before you send that text, post that comment, or make that joke, pause for a little bit longer than you usually would. It's so easy to be careless with our words, but this pause can help us think about the impact our words make. We also have to forgive when words hurt. We can't forget, we can't unhear or unsay hurtful words, but we can forgive ourselves and others when words hurt. Forgive each other. Forgive yourself. We're all still growing and learning. And we need to choose words that help. Watching our words doesn't mean staying silent or only saying nice things. Like Jesus, sometimes we need to say words that are true, even if they're uncomfortable. So how do we know what to say? Well, try saying words that help, uplift, speak truth, or challenge others to be more like Jesus. It's not easy to be so careful about our words, but that's the point. Radical, important, world-changing things are really never easy. This week, will you decide to do something simple but difficult? Will you do something radical? Will you strive to love God and others with the words you say? I hope so, because radical people watch their words.